Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Janet.
You did excellent. Good morning. How are you? Good morning to Draviola.
Good morning. How are you, OG?
I'm doing great, thank you. Good morning, Rufai. How are you?
Lovely maroon dress.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you got the color right. It is maroon. I'm not looking at you, Tundu.
I have no correction.
Yay, Rufai, you got it. Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In Australia, the government announced on October 13th that they will build a 20-kilogram semi-autonomous lunar rover for NASA to take to the moon in search of oxygen. As early as 2026, oxygen extracted by the rover from the lunar surface, they say, would ultimately be used to sustain human presence on the moon and support future missions to Mars. While in the United Kingdom, the Duke of Cambridge, Prince William, on Wednesday, criticized the race to leave Earth. During an interview about the current issues facing the climate, he insisted that the world's greatest brains and minds should be fixed on trying to repair the planet. In North Korea, a soldier clad in a super tight blue outfit generated a buzz on social media, with some calling him a superhero, a Captain DPRK, or a rocket man. The soldier was among nearly 30 soldiers who posed for a photo with Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un during an exhibition of weapons systems. In Nigeria, 1,130 pieces of Benin bronzes will be making their way back from museums in Germany as early as July 2022, following the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the two countries on Wednesday, October 13th. Under sports, Kenya's two-time World Championship bronze medalist, Agnes Jabet Tirop, on Wednesday, was found dead at her home with multiple stab wounds to her stomach. Officials say her husband is the prime suspect behind the killing. The 25-year-old long-distance runner represented Kenya at the just concluded Tokyo Olympics. Finally, under entertainment, Hollywood's Captain Kirk, 90-year-old William Shatner, and 3 other passengers blasted into space on Wednesday in the convergence of science fiction and science reality. The flight lasted just over 10 minutes, and upon re-entry into Earth, the Star Trek actor told Bezos that he had the most profound experience aboard the rocket ship.
You have done something. I mean, whatever those other guys are doing, what isn't, I don't know about that. What you have given me is the most profound experience I can imagine. I'm so filled with emotion about what just happened. It's extraordinary, extraordinary.
Oh, bless him. I was so moved, Tundu. But again, he's an actor. But congratulations. That's all I can say.
What are you implying, OG?
So you know what I'm implying? I thought that his emotions were great. I thought they looked genuine in the beginning. But I mean, like you said, anyone would be overwhelmed with that whole reality, you know,
it's
just
huge.
Going into space. And I mean, he's 90 years old.
He's
Well,
90.
He was crying.
He's 90, looking
such an
fantastic.
amazing
Well,
journey.
just to
Yes.
add a caveat to all of this excitement about William Shatner, the Duke of Cambridge, Prince William,
I said earlier.
you know, was criticizing his
that was
obsession
on the highlight.
with Star Trekking.
Right.
That, you know, people are doing space tourism, they are
Instead of
indulging in Star Trekking. That we need to worry more
about climate,
the issues that affect us here on Earth,
Absolutely.
on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Instead of people looking for another planet where they want to go and live, whereas our planet where we live is damaged.
Well, that's
He makes
his
a
opinion.
good
He
point,
makes a good
but
point.
I have
It's
to
his
say,
opinion,
you
yeah.
also can't argue with the
No.
fact that Jeff Bezos,
amazing.
did you see his mother has kept all his Star Trek toys for 48 years and showed them to Captain Kirk, William Shatner? I'm sure even Jeff Bezos wanted to cry because it's like a huge moment for him.
I think space travel is so necessary.
And look who is talking, the Duke of, what do you call him? With all
He's
his,
the Duke of Cambridge.
With all his privileges. Should we start from there? Should we go there?
No,
How about he relinquishes all his privileges to solve Malaria
in Africa. Donate to the vaccines and all of that. All right, let's
talking about privileges.
Okay.
The Duke of Cambridge was talking about
climate.
issues
I know,
about
but people are still working. People are doing their best.
Still working. I hate when people call other people out and they themselves are not
calling, for greater commitment.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone is.
No, he makes a good point. But then childhood dreams are allowed to come
we
true.
can't begrudge him his, birth.
That's not his fault.
The circumstances of birth.
I'm just saying you to help with poverty in Africa.
Let's take a story in Nigeria. On Wednesday, the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, called for the establishment of a special fund to compensate the Southeast over the devastation of the region during the civil war. The governor said if created, the special fund will provide succor to those who lost their property and family members during the 30-month civil war that ended in 1970 and left the Southeast in a state of penury. He likened the special fund to a special law enacted as the Northeast Development Commission, which caters to disasters linked to Boko Haram incidents. The governor also complained about how revenues accruing from the zone are shared and said the current revenue allocation formula, which was last reviewed in 1992, is obsolete. Well, I think that he makes a very valid point, and I think it's about time that the Southeast governors start requesting or start calling out these issues in the Southeast. I think compensation is needed at this point.
I think he makes an excellent point, and I feel like this is the time to make it because President Buhari has shown that he is the only one who has the courage to address historical injustice like June 12th, so he can also go that much further and look at all the plethora of injustice that's happened in this country and nobody has ever addressed. However, I will say in 2017, I recall that the Nigerian government then, there was a consent judgment that the Nigerian government was to pay 88 billion naira in compensation to victims of the Biafra war in the Southeast, South, and parts of the North Central. They were also supposed to devote some of that money. No, I think 50 billion was to victims and the rest of it was to evacuate abandoned bombs and landmines all over the place and then build schools, build churches, mosques, and what have you. That was in 2017. For the governor of Imo State to be raising this now, it shows that that money has never been paid. And it will go a long way towards healing some wounds.
Absolutely.
That you could argue that Biafra does not deserve any compensation because they decided to go to war with Nigeria. I'm raising that argument, but however, the counter-argument to that is if you look at the Marshall Plan, even though Nazi Germany decided to drag the whole world into another world war, America extended money to rebuild Europe, including Germany. Western Germany accepted the money. East Germany did not because they were under the USSR. The USSR had their own Molotov plan. So even though Germany was the aggressor, it didn't matter. The whole world suffered. The whole world needs to rebuild. The whole world needs to heal. That was the idea then. And I think that should be the idea now.
Well said, Tundu Abiola. Dr. Abati, your comment?
Well, what is clear is that the politics of the Civil War will never go away. The key point made by Senator Hope Uzodinma is how Igbos within the Nigerian arrangement continue to suffer great injustice. And to that extent, you will find even generations, future generations still raising that issue. Chimamanda Adichie did not witness the Civil War. She wrote a phenomenal novel on it. Who knows, again, someone in the future will bring up the issue from whatever perspective. So the thing, of course, is that after the war ended, there was a Go-On initiative, rehabilitation, reconstruction, reconciliation. There are many Igbos who think that did not work. And the controversy over £1. Okay, other governments may have come forward later to still say, oh, we will address it. But for the average Igbo man, the Civil War never ended, and it has not ended. So the bigger question, beyond Uzodinma looking for a Southeast Development Fund, is to ensure that Nigeria is run in such a way that people have a sense of belonging. They have a sense that, this country is interested in justice and equity. Now, the governor of Imo State raised other issues because this was at the zonal public hearing on revenue allocation formula. And he said that, look, the Southeast has been served very badly. The federal government takes over 56%. The states take about 26%. Local councils take 20%. You go and give 56% to the federal government
why? Yes.
for resources developed,
Correct.
say, for example, in the southeastern region, as he drew attention to. And he also raised the issue about oil. He says, look, his own state, Imo State, has over 46 wells and accounts for a substantial amount of oil production. But that those wells have been taken away from Imo State and given to River State. You know, at least he gave that specific example. So these were the kind of things he was drawing attention to. The need to correct the gross injustice at the heart of the Nigerian arrangement. So at that,
I think he spoke very well.
Yes, at that foundational level, I think that's the key point.
Absolutely.
How you now deal with it, you know, is the responsibility of all stakeholders within Nigeria.
Well said, Dr. Bati Rufai, your comment on this story.
And for me, I think this will bring forward the conversation on restructuring again. Because prior to this time, the eastern region grew faster than any other region because of the discovery of oil in Olebiri in 56. And because of that, the eastern region was paying to the Federation purse a certain percentage from the proceeds of oil. Imo State, I think Shell had one of their biggest headquarters in Imo. It's close to the government house. Most of these oil majors had hubs in the east because of the discovery of oil. And then the economic activity was better. You know, there was a feedback into towns like Onitsha and some other parts. After the Civil War, they lost a lot of that. And whatever that has been done in the past clearly has not worked. Let's not deceive ourselves. But one step further for me, I don't think there should be a development commission. I think they can look for other means of still channeling the money or funneling money for development to the Southeast region, but not a development commission. We have seen how it does not work with NDDC. We have seen how it does not work with the Northeast Development Commission.
That's another argument, yeah.
So I don't believe in that because that would be another bureaucracy. What I think they should do is, please, put in a lot of infrastructural projects. Take, for instance, we are building rail in every part of the country. I have not heard about one major rail line that will connect Aba out to other parts. And Aba is a great industrial hub. And I keep making a case for the Southeast because, so it is not because, oh, there's a conversation on marginalization, that's why you should give them infrastructure. You should because they are big production hubs and they will help the country. I don't see why we can't build rail lines into where the innocent cars are being produced, for instance, so that you can freight them through rail.
I like that point.
You
Very
get
valid, yeah.
So the South is actually generating a lot of industrial productive material. And you need to put infrastructure in place to be able to carry it out for them. So justice has to be done, and it has to be done quickly. The Development Commission, I think it's a bureaucratic bottleneck. If there's a symbiosis with the private sector and a lot of these stakeholders in the Southeast and can build those infrastructure, I'm happy about that.
Well said, Rufai.
Well, I told you last time Minister Michi was here, he talked about the rail network in the east, which will open up the east all the way to the northern part of Nigeria. Now, what they may not have been able to work out is to get to the stage where they take it all the way to the north and link it with the remaining networks. But certainly, you know, it's one of the things Minister Amici talked about.
We look forward to that.
Yes.
Let's take another story. On Wednesday, Yoruba activist Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho, was reported to have been rushed to the hospital after he took ill in a detention facility in Benin Republic. One of the lawyers representing the separatist activist said he may be battling an illness relating to his kidneys and lungs. He also claimed that Igboho was injured while trying to escape during the invasion of his home by the operatives of the Department of State Services on July 1st. He said Igboho is seriously ill and needs to be flown abroad for treatment. Igboho was arrested at Cardinal Bernardin International Airport in Cotonou while on his way to Germany. He was subsequently arraigned before a court in Benin Republic and has remained in custody of the government after the extradition hearing on the request of the Nigerian government was stalled. I have a lot of questions regarding Igboho's continued detention. I mean, it was the government of the Republic of Benin that arrested him based on the fact that he had, you know, bad documents or what have you. But, I mean, the fact that he is still there just bothers me a lot.
Yes, he's one of those people who is an awaiting trial prisoner at this point. But one thing I will say for our neighbors is that they seem to show a lot more civility than we do here to political prisoners or prisoners of conscience, whatever you want to call them. Because I recall in the case of Zakzaki, when he was reportedly seriously ill, he was not rushed to any hospital. So that must be said, that even if somebody is a prisoner awaiting trial, he must have his full human rights observed. He has the right to see a doctor. There are others I could mention, which I will not, who were gravely ill in Nigerian state detention and were not given any medical help and essentially died a slow death over a period of years.
So sad.
This would not have happened if he was in Nigeria. If he was gravely ill, he would not have been rushed anywhere. And that's the point that I want to note. And I just want to not say anything further on this.
Rufai, your analysis on this topic.
So for me, he's there in Benin Republic. The lawyers have said he's sick. He's been rushed to the hospital. The last I heard that the investigations are on. So that's why they detained him. And they seem to have been able to reach an agreement between the government of Benin Republic and counsel for Sunday Igboho. It is on the council to be able to push on the need for him to be flown abroad. So there's a conversation.
I think that's what they're pushing,
So there's a conversation around that, to be had around that. But most importantly in all of this, the government in Benin Republic and Sunday Igboho, you know, I've been able to come on the same page as regards the investigation on the case. They've not come out to tell us what is going on as regards the investigation, but it's still on and it's still kept in detention. I think the French legal system is they keep you in detention while they go to investigate. I think that's the way they do it. I mean, I'm not totally grounded on the French legal system. So that's why that is going on. He's there with his wife, Okpe. Let's see how this pans out in the coming days. And I know his counsel definitely will give us more updates, you know, as regards what is happening to Sunday Igboho in Benin Republic.
I think also the point is that they claim that he got injured during that invasion in his home.
But was it the injury that led to
Well, that's what he's trying to claim at this point, Dr. Abati.
He's not the one making the claim. It's his lawyer.
The lawyer, that's what I just said. Yeah, the lawyer.
That's his name.
Correct.
He's the one who says he has lungs and kidney problems and that he's been taken to hospital and that they're going to ask that she should be flown abroad for him to get good care. Okay, after the July 1 invasion of his residence, he suddenly showed up in the Republic of Benin. Two issues with Republic of Benin. Traveling with, you know, what they call fake documents. He was arrested along with his wife. His wife was later freed by the court. And then the Nigerian government brought an extradition application, and that was also stalled. And now we understand that he's not feeling too well. Well, the appropriate place to go to, again, will be to the courts by his lawyers to ask that he should be, flown abroad. Because the principle, the international principle, is that even when a man has been accused of an offense, he's innocent until proven guilty, right? And he has to be in a condition where he can stand trial.
Exactly.
So these are some of the details they will look at. What you were saying, the French judicial system, adjudicatory system, is accusatorial. You are accused, and then you have to go and look for evidence to prove your innocence. But in the English jurisdiction, is prosecutorial. So that's just the technical difference. But whatever it is, the basic thing is the rights of the accused as recognized under international human rights law.
Very well said, Dr. Abati. We'll take another story that has been circulating online. It's a video showing supporters of the candidate of the Young Progressive Party, Ifeanyi Ubah, chanting and following campaign vehicles in a busy market in Lagos State. Now, this is ahead of the November 6th governorship election in Anambra State. Let's take a look.
Gubernatorial election Anambra State na Lagos game as campaign. Hey, ndi Igbo unu bagode ezigbo ike.
Well, in another development, a video showing supporters of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, rallying against Ifeanyi Ubah's campaign in Lagos has made the rounds. Let's take a look.
The level of Ifeanyi Ubah at Alab International Market, as we can see. This is what is happening in Arab international market right now. You can see the arrival of Ifai Oba, who is contesting for the governorship of Anambra State, but men are saying Ori Nandi candidate no. As you can hear, they are saying no election in Anambra State. Alaba is never live and direct. You are watching us live in Alaba International Market, live now and direct. People are shouting, Korean and no. Alaban is reporting live from.
I just heard you say offshore campaign. Campaign. But you were making reference to the song they were singing in this video.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big agitation song. I mean, if you dial back videos out of the Civil War, this was the exact tone, you know, holy, holy, Emeka Ojukwu is another savior and the likes. But what is really important here is the stakeholders in the East need to sit down. Because you cannot talk about happenings in the East without talk about the agitations. And no matter you like it or not, there's been injustice in the past. And because of this, it has foiled this movement. And it has a mass following. And that was what was exemplified here. And part of the problems are the reason why you see that a gubernatorial candidate in Anambra State is coming to campaign in Lagos.
In Lagos.
Because of the insecurity. I mean, those that dared, you saw what happened. APGA campaign, 6 people were killed during the campaign. Most importantly, we need to sit down and talk. We need to address this issue. And I'm sure this is just a protest to let Ifai Oba know that we need to address this issue. So it behoves on the stakeholders in the East to have a sit down. Federal government too must have a sit down. I'm happy Opus Onima talked about the need for justice. Maybe when they start showing the body language and investing a lot in the East because of the injustices over the years, maybe some of these agitations will die down. I mean, maybe some of these agitations will still carry on and say, okay, it's Biafra or nothing.
I mean, Tundu, if I had to come to Lagos, this is
It
ridiculous.
says a lot. I thought this was a new nadir in Nigerian electoral history. It's really unfortunate. However, if you look at it on the other angle, if he had had a rally, YPP rally in Anambra State, would he have made it to what's trending? He would not.
Oh, so
mission accomplished.
Completely
mission accomplished.
You're too smart. Dr. Batty, is it mission accomplished?
Well, I said earlier that many of these gubernatorial candidates, 18 of them, according to the published list by INEC, many of them have either abandoned the state or abandoned their political campaigns, or they are unable to participate in activities right there in Anambra. So this just underscores the point about the crisis in Anambra State, the insecurity. The people in Lagos, in Alaba, they are not the ones going to vote necessarily in the election in Anambra. Some of them will probably even not go home for Christmas in any part
because
of the
insecurity.
So the best that they can do in the age of technology perhaps will be to influence their kith and kin back home to say vote for this particular person. So don't be surprised if some of the other candidates also show up. Maybe they will not go to Alaba. Maybe they will choose Okokomaiko or Ajegunle or some other part of Lagos. But it just shows us why there is problem with security and why INEC had to specifically call on the security agencies to provide that security so that the average man in Anambra who has a voter's card will be able to make an informed choice about who will be the next governor in that state, and to ensure that there will be no state of emergency or any kind of inconclusive election or the postponement of the gubernatorial election itself. But it's very unfortunate. Can you imagine, a man seeking governorship position in Ogun State and going to Kano to go and campaign.
Unheard of. Unheard of.
That's how ludicrous.
Unheard of. Well, we pray for
situation
peace, peaceful election come November 6th.
Well, it shall be well with Indi Anambra. That's how they put it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jinika.
Okay. That's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you tomorrow.